All right, all right, all right. Hello, hello. How we doing, guys? How we doing? How we doing? Check in, check in. Haven't seen you guys in about a week since I was in Madison, Wisconsin. Went out there to cover the ongoing protests that were taking place. You also still have that autonomous zone out there, but because Madison is 4 hours away and that's time and resources, right? Like I can't be there all the time. And also, I literally did like a back to back from going from Maine to Madison. I think I spent like 3 hours on my birthday just hanging out. Didn't really have much time because on my birthday I was traveling back home. So I'm back though. We're gonna be back with news this week. I'll try unless something happens, and then I gotta go report on it in person, which seems to have been the case now for the past couple months here, which I haven't minded, honestly. It's been, being in the summertime, being outside. We were outside all winter and it was so cold. And a shout out to John Farina, nearly lost his finger, which is doing well now. John's finger is doing good, but he nearly got frostbite and lost his finger. It was very cold, very, 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 very cold. So now that it's summertime, I'm more than happy to be outside as much as I can, especially now that it's August. It's August. Holy cow, August 3rd. Summer's going by so god dang fast. You got a big Michigan primary tomorrow, and I felt like we should like talk about it or well, at least we got to go through some of the stuff that I missed from last week. And today I had our softball tournament first few games. We're still in it, but we lost. My stream went down. That field sucks. But I'm sorry if you're watching my softball stream. But yeah, we got to continue that next week. Okay, so next week is the next game. So I'll have that for you guys as long as I'm home. But you got the Michigan primary tomorrow. Midterms are coming. Okay, midterms are coming, and so the big fight right now is between establishment Democrats and non-establishment candidates that are running in the Democratic Party. That's the fight right now. It's obvious, like obvious people say, well, the fight's MAGA. Okay. Right. Yes. But there's a deeper fight. Okay. There's a bigger fight beyond MAGA. MAGA is not the end, the end all. Okay. It seems like they are because they're loud and whatever, but it's all part of the same system. But MAGA is just the fascist wing of it. Okay, but it's really the same. They're really the same system. Like, because I mean, there's no way that if this country, didn't want Trump as a leader again because of what he did after his first term or during his first term, and then how he didn't leave and launched an insurrection. The country was like, run it back, run him back immediately. So there's really, for me, there's no institution or like an establishment to appeal to, like, oh man, we got to uphold this because of, like, there is nothing really. And then Trump himself, actually, in a fucked up way, obviously, but he's actually operating, with as politicians do. Okay, he's just a loud billionaire, and he's a ego driven, fascist actually. But there's been tons the politicians within both the Democratic Party and the mostly Republican Party, but a lot of Democrats too, which I've called out every single one that's been establishment or pro-Israel or just absolutely cooked, or like a Fetterman, right? Which is basically like a Republican that pretends to be a Democrat. And then people play these games about this Republican that's clearly a Republican that's running as a Democrat. Then you have to have moderates fight progressives, and it's just this fake ass battle. And then you got these like liberal influencers that are basically conservative influencers. But because there's no Republican Party anymore, there's just MAGA. It's made it really easy for these establishment types to kind of build a base of followers, because yeah, the Republican Party's dead. It is truly Republican in name only. MAGA does run that. MAGA is kind of falling off a cliff here, but I don't see. I mean, there's no reality in which that can be restored. Right? It's basically going to be however Trump decides that party's going to go. Like, it's going to be how he says it's going to go next. If you're like a Republican conservative. There's you got the Libertarian Party maybe, and honestly, these establishment Democrats. That's for you. Because there's no other message that I guess like again you got this Marjorie Taylor Greene thing going on. Marjorie Taylor Greene and Massey, and I'm seeing a lot of people that I know engaging with this, and they're like all about it, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's here you go. I got the picture. Here you go. This picture. They're all sitting in Tucker's little log cabin home setup thing. Yeah, they're all fat. They're all still fascists. Okay, they're just different now because Trump didn't cut them in. Trump didn't cut any of them in. And then Massey, like he gets points for the Epstein files for sure. Like, I'll give him that. Because he destroyed his whole career over it, basically. Well, at least the career he was on. But whatever this is now, this is going to be like another faction of that. And then you also have more extremist fascists in the right wing that also want power. Turning Point USA is far more far right than establishment like boomer MAGA. They are by a long shot. Like the America First types, the Groypers, like all of these, like these militia, they are actual fucking super Nazis. And these boomer right wingers that you see are like just kind of the warm up, and they're just dumb. Most of them are just fucking stupid, and the actual like the younger minded fascists are done with them too. They're done with it because this is going to be the fight on the right. Okay, so that's going to happen, and they're going to go further right. That's what's going to happen. It's not going to be a situation in the right wing into which it goes moderate or like it cools down. They're going further right. 100. There is no other direction they're going to go. The right wing has set this, and the Heritage Foundation and Israel and whoever the billionaires at B within the right wing have decided this path a long time ago. They decided this path for the Republican Party decades ago, and they're just now finally letting it play out, especially with the bombings of Iran. You know what I mean? Like it was both parties that contributed to that contribute to funding wars in the Middle East. However, within the Republican Party specifically, they had an objective goal to do this for decades within the Republican Party because they knew, like, again, they'll get establishment Democrats, APAC funded, Democrat Israel supporters, right? For sure, they exist, but none of them ever would go to the point of like bombing Iran. Okay, they wouldn't do that, obviously, and even establishment Republicans would. So it's been decades and decades and decades of this right wing project building into what it is with MAGA, and it's that's just its first form. There is no reality in which it gets voted away. I want you guys to understand that and hear me clearly. This right wing whole thing, because you got people that are sympathetic to these people here on your screen now. You got people that were sympathetic to Laura fucking Loomer in Ukraine. The most disgusting thing I've seen lately. And I wasn't like on social media like that, like really, really fucking posting like that. But like people that are glazing Laura Loomer because she went to Ukraine and she's changing her tune. Yeah, she's doing that because she needs people to support Israel. That's why. That's why she's doing that. She's not doing it because she genuinely cares about Ukraine and wants the Ukrainian people. She took Russian money. She took Russian. She was funded by RT to do propaganda for the Russians. And then now you got Laura Loomer interviewing Zelensky. It's the most disgusting thing I've seen. There is no excuse for this. But Zelensky's getting cooked now, so Ukrainian politics are just kind of falling apart. They are. He's getting cooked for internal decisions. I heard problems about Zelensky when I was there in 2023, to be honest, guys. And like, yes, he's got a big Western support base, and he's been really good in terms of messaging and strong, but right, he's made terrible fucking decisions. Terrible fucking decisions for Ukraine lately, including this for me. Even entertaining this, there is no reality, zero reality in which Laura Loomer brings supporters to Ukraine, brother. The MAGA that do support Ukraine have been doing it, and like they don't care to build their base, and they have to shut up and be quiet around their other maggots when it comes to Ukraine, because they support it, but like they know they can't really fucking say much else, because within that base, it is cut no support to any country anywhere. Which, when it comes to the Middle East, I'm on board with that. When it comes to Ukraine, who we had we have the Budapest Memorandum signed with them, in which we took their nuclear weapons away. We de-armed them. We took Ukraine's ability to defend itself away completely from invasion. And so we are supporting Ukraine through that mechanism, through the Budapest Memorandum that was signed in 1994. Okay, the year after I was born. And again, the weapons to Ukraine they've been defensive, and Ukraine is fighting imperialism. You know what I mean? They're not trying to occupy Russian territory or be a proxy to the United States or like any of this bullshit. Okay, they truly are like an independent country. They have their own culture, their own language, their own history that's older than Russia, actually. And they've been there for a long time, like one of the originals in that area of the world. OGs, if you will. Like that's like olden days, like a long time ago. So they have their own like established existence, and Russia is trying to take that. Similar to how my anger with Israel, obviously, and when I call out Israel for how they're genociding Palestinians and taking away Palestine or occupying it. It's the same shit. And then you got Trump posting AI memes about making a high rise in Gaza or whatever, like a Trump resort. He's already forwarded progress in Ukraine when it came to the mineral deal. We're already steps ahead of that. Like it's gonna be you're gonna have to have the U.S. military help genocide Palestinians in order for what Trump wants to do in Gaza to take place, and that that would be an absolute tragedy if and when that does happen. But what's taking place in Ukraine, Russia's doing that very act in Europe, okay, in Ukraine. And so when you have Laura Loomer, who is obviously a MAGA fucking absolute like subhuman of a person, um, and she took Russian money, right? This would be like if like if I were taking like Israel money, and then I just decided, because right now the vibe in the United States obviously is not with Israel, and I just was like, okay, some of these candidates are doing that, by the way, but like, okay, never mind. I'm never mind, guys, because I have some other goal or something. I don't know. That's like what Laura Loomer is doing here, but it's not even bringing any support to Ukraine. This is the dumbest shit I've seen. And then this whole interview sucks. Like it's not even worth watching back because she's so fucking scary. She literally, and then she like the whole interview is just hitting him with MAGA talking points in which it doesn't do anything because MAGA doesn't watch this. They watch Laura Loomer clips. They watch Laura Loomer sound bites on their scrolling feed. Do you think MAGA's sitting through a 43-minute fucking video interview with President Zelensky? You're out of your mind. You're actually out of your mind. You're actually stupid. They're not doing that. Okay, they watch Laura Loomer through her hate clips. Same with like people like Charlie Kirk too. There's not barely any MAGAs actually watched full Charlie Kirk, full context of like his bullshit. They watched him through clips. Same thing here. So they're not watching that. It's just the worst. She's reporting on. There you go. This is why this will never work for me, anyways. I have a beautiful community, and we support Ukraine. And I'm tired of being dicked around by other people that have other platforms that support Ukraine and like say, well, we have to support Laura Loomer because it'll bring demand. Go fuck yourself. You can do that. Do that. Do that instead, actually. My community will support Ukraine. I'm not going to sell my fucking soul to like make space for Laura Loomer. Suck my asshole. I'm not doing that. Okay, you can do that, and then you can deal with the other shit people. Like it's just fucking made me so angry because a lot of the pro Western or pro Ukraine Western base have done nothing but like fucking shill for grifters, liars, MAGA, fucking the worst people ever. Like constantly since Russia invaded Ukraine, it has been nothing but Let's continue to appeal to a further right-wing base. How is that gone? How is that truly gone? This shit pisses me off. It's the worst fucking existence. That's why I don't like sit with Ukraine and like influence that anymore because the space sucks. It sucks. So here you got Laura Loomer with their Loomer Unleashed. Hassan Piker escorts Abdul El Sayed out of their final event in Michigan. They have been campaigning together all day. Yeah, because Hassan reaches a younger audience and like can do that. And our current establishment politics that are geared towards older individuals is not working. So that's why someone like Hassan is doing success. It's not that hard to figure out, especially when you're out there talking to people that are older and they're tired of the establishment too, actually. I'm out there talking to folks in Maine. I haven't really talked to I've never talked politics to anybody in Maine in my life. And I'm out there and they're like, we are ready for anyone that's anti-establishment. Literally, like, I mean, they're gonna have to be left leaning. It can't be an anti-establishment fucking conservative because they're just Nazis. But you know, everyone I've talked to, which again, I have perspective that's better than any fucking liberal influencer, by the way, that's actually influencing in the Democratic Party. They don't actually go and talk to people. They talk to their fucking Discord server and like have debates with the same fucking people every day with the same 4 people. Okay, they're not actually talking to like regular people out there. And you know what? Hassan actually is showing up and doing that. And I gave him shit like when I first saw him in LA and he was like clearly just doing selfie shit, whatever. And like that's just whatever. But like he's at least out there. And that's why. That's why. Because he's out there, he's engaging with people, he's showing up with the candidates that are the favorite, actually, because who the fuck is going with this? I'm not. I refuse. I literally refuse to go with any candidate that's anyone.
And in the United States Congress, I will continue to fight for the people of Israel. I will continue to fight for Israel's existence. Israel comes to me in my dreams. I see Israel's future, and I know that Israel will continue to exist for the Jewish people.
Yeah, we can't. That's done. We're not going anymore. We're not going with that. Obviously, you got a lot of right wing MAGA, and I'll play that next because I'll show you Lindsey Graham and how happy he's been, or was were. But this is Haley Stevens who's going against Abdul El Sayed. It's Al Sayed Eve, guys. Tomorrow's going to be a big primary day. I'm going to cover it tomorrow. I'm excited. I want to see establishment lib tiers. That's what I want to see, and MAGA too. But like they kind of like work together. I've noticed both in the streets and in the influence politics. By the way, and I've been noticing that all year. Yep, because when it came to Delaney Hall and the ICE protests, you had the state police, the Newark police, and all available resources that New Jersey had descend upon the protest in Delaney Hall and double team, double tap, triple tap, because then you also had the corporate fucking what are they called? Geo Group, the fucking prison. They're owned by a corporation, Geo Group. So you have their private goons out there and they're shooting at the protesters, and then ICE agents are shooting at the protesters, and so is the establishment, the Democrat Mickey Sherrill police force in New Jersey. So I've seen it in the streets. I'm seeing it on the internet too, and it's all day long. All day long, it's just so fucking tiring. Watch it, and like I don't really engage anymore now with like. I guess I probably did more when it came to Ukraine because I had to go to Congress and advocate for aid to support Ukraine, and I did that. But it made me come across as like a Democratic Party influencer, and that was not ever the case. I promise you. I just was going calculating the best outcome to not have Trump win. However, now that it's been almost 2 years later, that strategy doesn't work. Let's quick and vote for whatever they decide because Trump, it hasn't worked, has it? It doesn't work. That strategy just simply does not work. When they just quickly decide for a candidate and their establishment, and then there's really no discussion, and like Trump, then the right wing just wins. They do. They win harder too. They not only win, but they'll win harder. So there really is like no option to be like, we need to have this establishment candidate. They're gonna win they're gonna bring over the right wing vote. Who the fuck wants that anyways? How did that go for Kamala and Tim Walz when they literally were wearing camouflage, showing their Glocks off every day, fucking doing white boy tacos, fucking having, oh my God, dude. Every day it was some dog whistle to the right wing attempt. It wasn't a good one, but it was an attempt. They attempted the whole time, only the whole time. Only the campaign, because I reacted to the whole thing. I watched Trump's campaign, and chat was not happy during that time because they did not want to see Trump, and they really thought that Trump was going to lose. So they were like, I don't want to see Trump. I'm tired of this, Grandpa. And I'm like, I'm showing Trump because this is how bad it is. And if they're fucking around, this is what's coming. And then I read Project 2025 and everything. People thought it was a game. People thought it was a game. They thought Trump, there's no way. There's no way Trump could win. No way MAGA had it. They were the whole time Biden, and I will say this again, because again, this is the eve. I hope anyone in Michigan is watching too. When it came to no, now I forgot my train of thought. Fuck, dude. It's just no, it's my train of thought now completely. Because lessons from 2024 and quickly rushing candidates in the Democratic Party, and then those candidates being both pro-Israel and then not going to change anything from Israel's genocide of Gaza when Kamala was asked that. And then you have candidates that are just straight up not like still going to support Israel. It's not going to work. It's just not going to work. Yeah, about Biden, I forgot though. It's so much bullshit. I had something good to say, but I can't remember now. It truly is. But that's why I actively choose not to influence in the Democratic Party, because it's dead. And if you're an establishment, if it's anti-establishment and you're trying to advocate for better, and you're trying to advocate and you're at the ground level too. That's for me. For me, I got to see people at least on the ground level, at the grassroots. I got to see them out there talking to people. I got to see them at a protest. I got to see them engaging with the process somehow, not just showing up to events, to campaign events, and then receiving Israel money. Or like saying that Israel comes to me in my dreams. What in the fuck is that? Israel comes to me in my dreams, you guys. So let's listen to Abdul al-Sayed on socialist labels and who he thinks belongs in the Democratic Party. This article came out late. You got the CBS News trying. Senate candidate El-Sayed says it's funny to me to assume Michigan votes for moderates when it voted twice for Trump. Based. What is there anything incorrect of what he said? I'm tired of it. I'm seeing it. I've been seeing it all year. And I'm also seeing less people at the protests too. Like just as the year's gone on, people are just like, hey, we're gonna have the midterms, which gotta fist the midterms, get these Democrats in, and everything will be fixed. It's not gonna be fixed. It's not gonna go down like that. That's not how this works. That's not how the United States works. That's not how, like, we can't even have functioning trains in the United States because that's communism. We can't have a good public transit system. Okay, we need to be in rush hour traffic for 3 hours after work with everyone else, like a good American. All right, we got to sit in that fucking traffic, and it takes another part of a shift to get home, and you don't get paid for it. That's how we like it here. All right, that's my America.
So if you win and get the Democratic Party that you want, who belongs in it and who doesn't?
Anybody who wants to take on fascism, anybody who wants to get money out of politics, anybody who wants to fight for union rights, anybody who wants to make sure that people can live free with clean air and drink clean water, anybody who wants to guarantee health care, come on in, the water is fine. We want to build a broad coalition, but sometimes when the Democratic Party talks about a big tent, we push everybody into the corner and then go talk and pander to the corner. I'm just trying to bring everybody to the tent pole in the middle to talk about what we really need. We need good housing. We need good schools. We need health care. We need to know that our government works for us rather than the corporations who buy off politicians. We need to know that our money is going to be spent on.
Yeah, a lot of people on the left are cooked when it comes to Europe and Ukraine. Okay, and that's up to people like me and others that know about the situation to fix that. But when the majority of their other takes are right, then you got to figure it out. Okay, when they're because there's a lot of influence when it comes to like people that are further left than I guess whatever when it comes to Ukraine. And like it's heavily Russian influenced, and like they do influence campaigns on both the left and the right. Heavily on the right, obviously, and paying more. They pay the right, but they also pay left wing people too, like Glenn Greenwald, who sounds conservative all the time, but he has a big like left, further left audience, and whatever. But like that's not a point for me. It's not a point. Like it's not a point of contention for me that he like stood with Jill Stein and was cooked when it came to Putin. He's running for Michigan. Okay, that's what I care about when it comes to geopolitics. I hope the best at this point, and I hope that when we get a better federal government, if we ever do, then proper takes can resume. But we need candidates in the United States to actually care about the United States. Okay, and that's like all of it, all of them. Like our roads are fucking terrible. We have affordability problems. We can't afford things. Americans are working 4 to 5 jobs just to pay for shit, just to have and then just to pay bills. They don't have money to go on vacations, but just to pay bills. So we need politicians, and yes, they can be wrong geopolitically. I'm okay with that. I'm okay if they're geopolitically fucking cooked, as long as they're solid when it comes to domestic American politics, and they're not engaging in culture war shit like right wing MAGA slop, all any or pro Israel shit. I'm not with that. But if they're solid when it comes to domestic issues, and like they care about American people first, ironically, a non-fascist America first, right? A not like reclaiming that in a way that actually benefits, like the American people, and not obviously white nationalism, which is what that America First slogan as it exists now is for. However, in a way, this is the actual like America First candidate when it comes to like caring for the American people. Actually, in a way, they just obviously there's no way Abdul Al Sayed or DSA candidates or anyone would like do that. I don't know. I think they should. I think they should reclaim that, but it doesn't work well, especially when you already have established right wing or fascist dog whistle slogans. It's very difficult to like reclaim those, but it's possible. I saw people over the winter time reclaim the "Don't Tread on Me" flag, and we did in Minnesota. And now I really don't see a whole lot of right wingers using that. Maybe they do for sure. Maybe they'll have it hanging up. But I've seen many militia marches and shit, and I've only really seen that "Don't Tread on Me" flag this year at the ICE protests. So I don't know, just something to consider. Not saying to do that, but we need candidates that are actually going to put our he has to put Michiganders first, actually, and like care for Michigan. Basically, what Zohran Mamdani as mayor of New York is doing, right? And how he's literally just putting New York City first, which is what he's supposed to do. It's literally like I think Zoran's just doing kind of the standard. He's not really doing above and beyond. He's literally kind of just hitting the mark, and just hitting the mark is just more than anyone's ever seen, which is why it seems so amazing, right? Or for like from the outside, and then I've talked to people on the inside, and it seems pretty good there, New York City, with his leadership. But we need candidates in this country that aren't going to shill out for Israel, which is the majority of our efforts, by the way. The majority of the money that's going out is going to the Middle East and going to for forever wars in the Middle East for Israel. So we need candidates that aren't going to have literally a side platform for that, and then funnel out taxpayer money back into Israel. It's got to stop. It's got to be done. So when I see candidates like Abdul Al Sayed, it's like, that's what I like to hear. This is the shit I like.
And I think that can unite people independent of how they pray, who they love, how they identify, if they pray, where they come from in the state, the color of their skin, coming together to build something that we can only have together.
Do you get, is there any group of people, any organization that's sort of a red line for you that says, no, you're not part of this, or that view is not part of the Democratic Party I'm hoping to sustain here in Michigan?
We're trying to define a viewpoint that's built on money out of politics, money in your pocket, Medicare for all. If you agree with those things, come join us. We're for civil liberties. We're for equal rights. We love and appreciate all people. And I want to build this movement, bringing people together around the things we need and deserve that we can have together if we fight for them.
Is the DSA part of the Democratic Party in Michigan?
I'm not DSA.
I know you're not.
But if folks from the DSA want to be part of the Democratic Party, I would imagine that anybody would want them there, right? Because you want voters. Like this idea that somehow we are going to win elections by pushing people out seems to me to be inconsistent with the way that democracy works.
Exactly, especially when the establishment Democrats appeal to the right wing and have all the room for trying to get the right wing to come over. But yet I've noticed that when it comes to anti-establishment leftists, nope. They gotta figure it out on their own. I've noticed that now. I see it now. I see it clearly after this past year and how this whole year's gone down.
On a coalition of all people. You know who else are going to be part of my coalition? 3-time Trump voters who want health care, who want to keep our money here at home.
And they're out there, yeah.
They're out there. I meet them at almost every event I go to. So we're building a big, broad coalition, truly a big tent of people that combines folks from DSA on one side, even if I'm not a socialist, and combines 3-time Trump voters, even if I've never voted for Donald Trump.
Are you concerned about being labeled a socialist?
I think that folks who come here, like with 2 weeks left in the election, really, really want to label me a socialist. I don't know why, except for maybe it fits into a nice telling of a broader national story. But I'm a scientist, right? And I like solutions that solve problems. That's the approach that I've always taken. I don't do ideology. I'd rather think of myself as a capitalist who actually read about capitalism, in the sense that the biggest risk to capitalism was always going to be corporate consolidation and monopoly rather than government regulation. In fact, you need some government regulation to make sure that capitalism runs well. I want to make sure that our capitalism is functional rather than allowing big corporations to buy politicians to rig the system against us.
You are not a member of the Democratic Socialists of America. They did not endorse you. But we know that there are DSA members out there in this state right now campaigning on your behalf, handing out literature for you.
It's a big time, my friend.
Any concern, though, that they may be misrepresenting you?
No,
and
look,
casting
But what does that mean?
you as one of them when you say you're not.
you know, it's funny, right? Democrats are so concerned about what other people say about us. And I think we just need to be more concerned about what we say about the lives of Michiganders.
I mean, exactly. I'm seeing Democrats, the liberal influencers, do terminology quizzing now, which is what the right wing establishment used to do. Do definition grind or hit any of their if they have like a DSA debater or somebody that's further left than the establishment, they'll like hit them with well, what does this mean and what does this mean? Do you know the difference between this and this and like that's a textbook like right wing Fox News tactic from the olden days. And Charlie Kirk would do that too. He did that all the time. But I'm noticing like establishment liberal influencers doing this now.
I want to get money out of politics, put money in your pocket, pass Medicare for all. If you want to be part of that movement, whether you voted for Donald Trump 3 times or you are DSA, come join.
So he's trying to say like, yo, if you like, there is no,
If you need help,
I guess like, ironically, the people that would say vote blue no matter who, right? I remember hearing that back in 2024. Stevens on Israel, the Democratic Party.
I have back-to-back meetings.
Oh boy. AI everywhere. As long as there are religious extremists in the world, there will always be war. True. True. Libtards think killing babies is healthcare. Okay, we're not. This stream is not for you, MAGA. Nobody's talking to you right now. Okay, we got a very important primary tomorrow. Your shit's going down eventually, but right now we got to handle it first at this level.
Democratic Party gets behind you. Who belongs in that party and who doesn't?
Well, look, I'd say that this is a Michigan moment, and anybody who wants to stand up to the chaos and the abuses of power, you know, there's a lot of chatter, I know that, and I am very eager to say that this is about the future of my state. And anyone who's on board with the future of Michigan and our manufacturing economy and stopping members of Congress and presidents and vice presidents from trading stocks while in office, of ushering in kind of a new generation of prosperity for folks, standing up to RFK Jr., leading from a science-first agenda.
Just saying things. And do you notice that? She's just saying, ironically, like how MAGA does slogan speak. She's just saying like, she's speaking in virtue signaling. These are virtue slogans. Literally, he's saying nothing of substance. Going after RFK, how? How are you gonna do all this? Whereas like when I'm listening to Abdul al-Sayed speak, he's literally like laying it out. Literally giving like slogan speech.
That's what I have done in the Congress. That's what I'm going to do as Michigan's next U.S. Senator. And I think I'm the proven fighter who's meeting the moment. Look, I might be the underdog in this race. That's okay with me. I decided to get uncomfortable, and I'll tell you why. A fully paralyzed veteran last year asked me if he was still going to get his benefit check because he saw Elon Musk swinging a chainsaw around and cutting through our agencies of government. That is not acceptable. Tax dollars need to work for the taxpayers, or they need to be returned to the taxpayers.
You saw these protesters outside.
That's terrible. That's like the most Haley Stevens I've seen. Because again, guys, like it's hard for me to balance the political stuff now with on the ground reporting. You know what I mean? Like John, shout out to John Farina, but he really helped me with this. Like he's like, bro, you don't need to worry about all that. And then people are hitting me with it, and I'm like, yeah, I don't need, because if there's a fucking no shit situation happening, I'm usually out there, given what the firsthand scenario of what's going on, right? So dealing with that, and then also the political nonsense in the background has just kind of been too much for me. That's the most I've seen of Haley Stevens. That's terrible. That was horrible. Is there more?
Concerned about the fact that more than $60 million in PAC money has been spent on your behalf by pro-Israel groups, by other corporate groups.
Yeah, by Democrats.
What's your response to that?
By Democrats. Look.
By Democrats?
This is the same way, Gary Peters, Senator Stabenow, and other tough Democrats have won. Every single poll shows I'm the best one to go beat Mike Rogers. People aren't, messing around here. We've had an engaged, exciting primary process. Everyone's going to be able to hear.
Listen, again, I've been tapped out of politics stuff, but I've heard of Abdul al-Sayed because I'm at the protest. So I'm hearing what the streets are saying. I'm hearing the street chatter, and it's with Abdul. I haven't heard much from Haley Stevens other than she's an Israel cuck. And then I type in Haley Stevens. I typed in Haley Stevens. Look I show you in my process. And this was like the third video, sorry. Because I was like, let me try to find a Haley Stevens video. And then I'm like, oh, Israel comes to me in my dreams. I didn't search Haley Stevens Israel. I just typed Haley Stevens in. Or here, you got Jim Clyburn. Here you guys go. The future of American. Why is she doing that face? Why is she making a derp face? Why is she derping? What the fuck is going on?
I'm very pleased to be here today to continue in my efforts to get Haley Stevens elected to the United States Senate. I developed a tremendous amount of respect for her ability, but not only that, because of her compassion. She understands what it takes to make all those things that are great about this great country accessible and affordable for all of its citizens.
Like how? How has she done that? Also, again, when Michigan's voting for Trump again multiple times, what's going on? Like, what affordability? How is she making things affordable? It takes the whole system to make things affordable. One politician can't do it. Unless they make some absolute anti-establishment positions that will make the billionaires cry and probably, I don't know, do things that happen in movies to anyone that suggests doing that. But it'll take a village. It won't just be one politician that have to hold the economic, hold the corporations accountable, honestly, and for charging more and more and more and more and more. And until that happens, I don't know.
I know if she is the nominee, we will keep this seat.
Well, friends, we got an election coming up on August 4th, and how incredibly humbling.
Take it from this dinosaur. Hear it from dinosaur Jim Clyburn. He knows the future for sure.
And inspiring.
The future of our country right here. I'll be watching tomorrow. Absolutely, Dark Sunray. It'll be a good day. It'll be a good day.
To have my friend, my Democratic leader, Jim Clyburn, here in Detroit, in the Motor City, you know, the heartbeat of automotive country. Jim, I can't thank you enough. I'm not.
What the fuck just happened? Why did she do that? Why did she just yell? What the fuck just happened, dude? It's 11 o'clock at night. Why did she yell like that? That was crazy. Out of nowhere. What the fuck?
We will keep this seat.
Well, friends, we got an election coming up on August 4th, and how incredibly humbling and inspiring to have my friend, my Democratic leader, Jim Clyburn, here in Detroit, in the Motor City, you know, the heartbeat of automotive country. Jim, I can't thank you enough. I'm not going to let you down. Let's get out the vote.
I know you won't.
Oh, I forgot to turn the limiter on, so that was probably super loud. Dang, my bad, y'all. Forgot to have the limiter on my OBS because Spider-Man's quiet, so I had to uncage the audio. My bad. That was extra loud for you guys. You guys probably had a jump scare right there. I woke up the whole house. Haley Stevens just there. I hope you're in Michigan and you had to hear Haley Stevens wake up your house, and now you guys go vote for Abdul. That'd be so funny. How did Mercado get more Abdul voters? Because I jump scared my stream. I haven't done any. I don't have any interest in political canvassing or anything like that. At least not right now. Not at this time. This would be like the environment to do it in with this new generation of, I guess, anti-establishment candidates. But I gotta see it. I gotta see it through a little bit here. I have no like. There's no this. I think the whole thing's broken. I think the whole thing is fundamentally broken, and that's where I truly like. I think that's where I'm at with it. But we got to see it play out. We got to see it through. That's where it's like two things can be true. I think it's fundamentally broken, and it's done, and like we're just kind of like existing in it at this point because it's on autopilot capitalism. That's just gonna continue to charge us forever. But I'm willing to be proven wrong, and willing to exist differently. I mean, I've lived almost half my life, so another half to go, maybe, if I'm lucky. And yeah, it's gonna take a long time still. It might not even be in my lifetime, but I think the American government and our system is done, actually, because when you have Trump in power twice and you have no accountability over pedophile elites trafficking young children through an island, and then 70 some million Americans then go out and vote for that pedophile and convicted felon, and then also you can raid the US Capitol building to try to stop an election and send your supporters to do that, and nothing happens. So I think the American system is already done. We're just kind of like in it, like, because there is nothing else yet, and we're just, again, it's on autopilot. And like the institutions and establishment kind of built it that way. And also the corporations are really the ones in charge. So they really are running shit from their corporate offices in various cities around the country. Yeah, I think it's done. But yeah, I'm willing to be out there, raise voices, obviously. Like I'm still showing up, but I'm like deep down, I think it's done. But I'm willing to be proven wrong. Thank you, Chuck Savage. I appreciate the gifted. Abdul Al Sayed versus Haley Stevens. What the final polls show. Again, you guys should not, like, polls are for entertainment only now. You should learn now, right? What happened? What happened with Hillary, right? When she was on the front cover of Time magazine or whatever, Madam President, and then they had the Kamala polls. And Kamala was winning the Iowa poll or something. She's winning the Iowa poll. It's the poll that ends all polls. The poll lady said that Kamala's gonna win, and I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, it didn't. She didn't though. So polls or whatever. Remember that. Survey from Michigan pollster Mitchell Research and Communications, which surveyed 406 likely voters from July 28th to the 29th, showed El Sayed up 14 points, 52% to 38%. Damn. It's over for Stevens and company, isn't it? His support was boosted by a significant lead with young voters. Good. People my age should be involved. This shit is not like this is not the game. Winning 68% of those aged 18 to 29, so even younger than me. And 62% of those 30 to 44. Oh yeah. My age group. I'm in the 30 to 44 age group now. Fuck yeah. Stevens, however, did best with those 65 plus. Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense because they've lived in this existence, this country, and they only know what's comfortable. But again, I've talked to so many people that are 65 plus and are done with that too. And that's why these candidates are actually winning. Because yeah, 50% means that the other 50% of the 65 plus are done with that too. So even the seasoned of us, okay, those that are older are done with the existence they've lived in for twice as long as me. Okay, so again, 50%, yeah, that sounds bad, but also 50% that are 65 plus are done with it, and that's good too. That's actually good. That people that have lived within this for the longest are fed up. A Zenith research poll first reported by Michigan journalist Sam Robinson found that El Sayed leads Stevens on an initial ballot, 53% to 34%. When undecided voters were pushed about who they would support, El Sayed had an 18-point lead, 59% to 41%. It's going to be a blowout, isn't it, tomorrow? An Emerson College poll produced similar results. It showed El Sayed with a 16-point lead, 57% to 41%. It surveyed 700 likely voters July 26 to the 27. A Tavern Research poll showed El Sayed up 11 points, 48% to 37%. It surveyed 914 likely voters from July 26 to the 27th. An earlier poll from Glenn Griff Group and the Detroit News gave Stevens a 7-point lead, 48% to 41%. Makes sense. It surveyed 500 voters from July 8th to 11th. Dang, so the early July poll, and then you got late polls that are swinging a different way. CNN data analyst Harry Enton said on Monday that El Sayed is poised to deliver the biggest blow so far against the establishment of the Democratic Party. Dang. Dang. Gonna be the biggest blow so far. He is the heavy favorite. And then now you guys get to watch Democratic Party influencers crash out, and they're going to, and you're going to question it. You're going to be like, why are they doing this? It's because they uphold the establishment, and the establishment is both parties. Okay? It is both. It is not one or the other, right? It is the same system that is held up by both parties. But there are people that do influence for the Democratic Party that are open to more progressive candidates or even not DSA candidates or socialist candidates that don't shill for the establishment, that are are trying to get people elected, and they're on the ground and doing the groundwork, but they're not shilling out for the establishment, or they're there to, and I think that's how this shit should work now. And there's going to be people that cry and screech and scream because they need to hold on to their establishment, and the establishment is done. You heard it from me first, okay? It's done. The establishment's done, and that's just where it is now. The Republican Party destroyed their establishment. It's time for the people on the left to destroy the Democratic Party establishment completely. Even though I think, again, like I told you, I think it's already been done. I think the very existence of Trump and the lack of fight from the Democratic Party actually when Biden was president and they had control of the government and they did fuck all, What else do you want me to think? The Biden's Department of Justice was so weak. You got Trump's Department of Justice, random fucking random whatever. They'll target anyone. They're on social media. They targeted me. They didn't really because they had nothing to really target me with. But like Harmeet Dillon and other actors within the Department of Justice just fucking harass people. Just cause like that's how Trump's wielding that shit. So the very fact that Biden didn't even, with all of this evidence and all of the facts around January 6th, and then they did like some televised event instead of actually put people behind bars, like that meant something. They had them in the DC jail, but clearly it was just to kind of hold them for a little bit until Trump took power again to then release them. They should have been in fucking Gitmo. The fact that they like when I swore an oath to this country, that's why again I think this shit's dumb. When I swore an oath to this country, it was against enemies foreign and domestic. Okay, and our soldiers have done some absolutely fucking terrible, inhumane things to our enemies of this country, I guess, right? And have gone viral for it, news stories, and just absolutely terrible fucking things that our military has done. And then when it comes to domestic terrorists, it's like just how it goes, I guess. That's just it. That's just part of how this works. They're just roaming around, and I got Jake Lang, who actually, and Jake Lang had a very bad day in Dearborn because Jake Lang's in Michigan. I should be in Michigan too, shouldn't I? But I can't be everywhere. I can't be everywhere, you guys. Jake Lang found out in Dearborn. It turns out that, hey, you have the freedom of speech to stand there and spew and spew and spew. But, I come from an understanding of, normal people aren't just going to tolerate that. It'd be like if I go into the deepest red fucking spot somewhere up there, their little town, and then I just stand there on the corner and just have, and honestly too, like if I just stood there in our deep red quiet little town and just started spewing racisms and shit, that just be, and like yeah, some of them would probably agree with the messaging, but the very fact that I'm disrupting their little piece, right, or I'm like there, and then like they would probably do worse. I'd probably get fucking roped up and thrown into the back of a truck or something, and then like taken out into the woods. Because like people don't, like when you go into somebody's community, you like, yes, you can argue they had the freedom of speech until the police come. Fuck you talking about some freedom of speech? The corporations control our speech. We don't have freedom of speech. Fucking sick of that. They had the freedom of speech. Okay, yeah, people have the freedom to respond. They have the freedom to respond to said speech. Okay, that's where I'm at with this whole thing. I'm so tired of it, especially like to the point where when we're in Maine and you had that dude literally assaulting people. Like it wasn't just him standing there saying chud stuff. He was literally like assaulting people. And that can't be tolerated. That is not speech. That is not free speech.
Speak the name of Jesus. No rioting, no violence, 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 no violence,
No violence.
no violence.
No, it's not working. He was like, okay, maybe, you're right. There's literally a cop right there. It's awesome.
Stop. You're a fucking pussy. You're a
Stop.
Get his legs.
Stop. You're a fucking pussy.
Oh my god. Grown man, feet and shoes above the window. So like, is he like, I don't know. How do you fit in the back seat like that too, by the way? I don't think I could raise my legs that high. Look at, he's got his legs at a 90-degree angle, perpendicular to the window panel. He's like hiding. He is like literally hiding like from what's going on, holding his legs up. Why is he doing that in that position? What's going on? It's a crazy spot. Guys, stop.
Guys, go back to your mom. No, fuck that bitch.
No, actually, I give the cop credit for like letting them kind of talk to him and do what they want. To be honest,
Fuck you,
fuck that. You want to there's a point. There is a point. There's a point. There's an end point to it. And what Jake Lang has continued to do pushes the bounds of freedom of speech every time, every fucking place he goes. But again, if you're just like a right-wing person and you have opinions and you go to like a protest, or if you want to go stand in a fucking corner or wherever you want to stand and just say your shit, no one's going to say anything to you. Or maybe they will, maybe they'll debate you. But because Jake Lang openly Sieg Heils, he openly targets mosques. He's just a general like nuisance in the a general nuisance, but beyond that too, he's like a domestic terrorist. He's a domestic terrorist. So like the fact that we need to coddle domestic terrorists because he wants to go and Sieg Heil and do a whole bunch of racisms in public, like that's why our country is where we're at. Freedom of speech. Yeah. My ass. I don't believe there is a freedom of speech. We have controlled speech. We have permitted speech. Like right now, YouTube and Facebook and X and Twitter, Twitter and Twitch are deciding if I have free speech right now, because they could revoke that in a second if I say something wrong, I guess, right? So therefore, my freedom of speech is depending upon these social media platforms. Because if I were to go out and raise my concerns against the government, then they would start establishing a First Amendment zones, and I couldn't be out there past a certain time. I'd probably have to be at a certain spot in the sidewalk. Very controlled speech. And that's only every time. Again, you can do a lot though. In America, you can do a lot. Clearly, look at Jake Lang. The fact that he's still out there doing this, people don't like it. Clearly, people don't like what he's doing, but he's out there doing it still. So, and there's he's not in prison. He's not the government is not going after Jake Lang because number one, he's working for him, but whatever. You know what I mean? There's no local, say there is a left-wing government within these cities, an actual one. He's not getting locked up for just what he's saying. It's for what he's doing and his actions. It's not just his speech, because when he's just speaking and he's just spewing this shit and Sieg Heiling, he's been doing that since last year. He's been on year 2 now, and even before then. So there's no inhibiting his freedom of speech when it comes to speaking how he wants to. But also, like I said, others have a freedom to respond. They have a freedom to respond to that, and I'm with the people that want to respond to it, not the ones that are gonna argue to uphold Jake Lang's freedom of speech. It's weird. Be reminded that this Republicans Against Trump account is Republicans. Far-left socialist Francesca Hong, who previously called to defund then abolish the police, is leading the Democratic Party for governor of Wisconsin. If she's the nominee, Democrats could kiss the... I can't do it no more. Goodbye. I literally can't. And then you're reminded, oh yeah, they're Republicans. And that's the problem. There's a lot of things and accounts and people and influencers, because the Republican Party's done. MAGA is so obviously bad, but Republicans created MAGA. Let's not forget that the Republican Party both indulged and also created what we see today with Trump. They did. They since Newt Gingrich, even probably before him, but I don't really have much data on that. I don't know what Reagan was like. Was Reagan culty? Was it as bad as this? But I know Newt Gingrich started the blood sports politics of like us versus them and started othering like the Democratic Party in terms of like their demons and blah 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 blah. So you can really trace that back to Newt Gingrich for really normalizing it within the American, I guess, like the left right politics we got now. Like him and a lot of honestly mostly right wingers are responsible for that. But then because we have a reality of a hellscape that we live in, establishment Democrats uphold that. So that's why establishment Democrats get criticism, rightfully so. It's not that there's like there's different problems, right? So like Republicans are usually racist or bigoted towards marginalized groups. They usually want to fund the military and the police, more money to Israel. Yes, true. They can pretend they're against Israel, but when they are for money for the military, that's where that shit's going. um they'll pretend they're against a bigger government, but yet when we get more funding to like things like DHS, which then go to ICE agents, they're fine with it because in their brain ICE agents are doing a good thing. But yet then they can pretend to be upset about flock cameras, which is the most biggest hypocritical bullshit I've ever seen. Are flock cameras bad? Yep. Are what people doing to them cool? Yes. But I really, it's hypocritical to me if you're on the right and you are up in arms about flock cameras and you are pro ICE or are pro fucking DHS or you love seeing militarized police and shit. You're a fucking clown. You are a fucking clown. And like, I don't like, there's because flock cameras is a easy one, I guess, because you see there's like and it's easy to fucking cut them down. So, and you can go viral and make content and you can film yourself cutting it down. You can get a whole bunch of attaboys. You did good, but yet you gave shit to people blowing whistles at feds in the cold in Minnesota. And you were, and people that were that literally, there's a mayor in Minnesota, Luke Merrill, by the way. We can get into that really quick. There's a mayor in Minnesota in Isanti, Minnesota. His name's Luke Merrill. I haven't showed you guys about this yet. We'll go over some of this stuff this week too, because he's running for office again. I gotta scroll down. You guys should follow on Facebook for most of the posts and like social media stuff. Instagram as well. Instagram as well. Where is he at? And he's even posting about these flock cameras now. But and these same people again were cheering for ICE agents and more funding to DHS and bigger government and aren't really against or aren't really against it. They really are for it. They just pretend to be. Where is it here? There you go. Nope. Well, where is the Luke Merrill here? Nope, that's an update. It was days ago now. There you go. So he's one of them. And now he's doing nothing but posting about the flock cameras. But MAGA Isanti mayor recorded a woman without consent and then contacted police chief about her report. There was reporting from Eyewitness News, KSTP Eyewitness News, raising questions about Luke Merrill, Isanti mayor, which I tagged that, and he untagged himself because he's puss. KSTP reports that Dania Donovan accused Merrill of recording explicit video of her without permission in 2020 and posting it on social media. Donovan filed a police report in November 2025. Prosecutors declined charges because the statute of limitations had expired. That was the stated reason, not a finding that her allegation was false. The same thing with Zach X, by the way. Okay, in his HRO for sexual assault. Okay, it's like not fun and games with Zach X for real like that, because he has sexually assaulted someone. And then this shit here is like just because it was beyond the statute of limitations, that's why, and not that what happened didn't happen. In May, Luke Merrill contacted Isanti Police Chief Travis Myers about what he called a factual inaccuracy in the report. The chief said there was no inaccuracy and later told the sheriff he felt Merrill was trying to persuade him to change it. The sheriff and county prosecutor deemed Merrill's conduct unethical, but not criminal. The report was not changed. Okay, so that's why our country is what it is. That's why we have politicians and why the Epstein files even exist, right? Is because that's the rules we have here. It's unethical, but not criminal. It's crazy. Separate screenshots circulating online and attributed to Merrill appear to show him dismissing. Oh, by the way, the same part of the same. We're gonna get into that. The Sophie Cunningham protect all women. My fucking butthole. That shit. I've been posting left and right. We'll get to the Sophie Cunningham and all that bullshit. But the same clowns that pretend to care about women and pretend to care about girls and sports and all this horse shit vote and support losers like this all day long, especially in his guys' comment sections. Like this guy is a MAGA chud for real. Their politicians are for like guys. They're like they're trolls. So like you can go to their social media and like he's turned his comments off now, but they truly are like any maggot you see in the comment sections. Like their politicians are the same way. It's the same thing. It's a complete rot. Merrill declined multiple requests to speak with KSTP on camera. Oh, my bad. Separate screenshots online attributed to Merrill appear to show him dismissing another woman who said she was unconscious and unable to consent as being irresponsible. Another comment attributed to him invoking Hitler while calling critics poison to society. You guys can see some of there's more screenshots in the comments. Pushback from mentally handicapped and unstable morons. Sure, probably the same type of people that Hitler had a problem with in the first place. Type shit. This guy's an elected official in Minnesota, in Isanti. Okay, the real shit going on. That's why we need more people to focus local politics. This geopolitical shit, I get it, but we need to. This shit is we have rot at home, rot, truly. It's bad because everyone only shows up for the presidential election now. Or not even. Nope, not everyone. Shouldn't say that. No. Like a fraction of the country will show up for that. But then then you get to the local politicians and it's like you can be anyone you can run for mayor. And as long as like no one else is running, you're probably gonna win. That's how because no one cares. No one actually gives a fuck. Like truly. Like that's why I even made a post. I was like, can I run for Blaine mayor? I had a social media following. I might have a chance. I might have a shot. This shit's wicked right now. No, truly, that's what it's like right now. It truly is like it's top bloated president, federal government, and I get it. It's all bad, but there's truly nothing at the local level or any of the things that we need to build actually at the grassroots. Which is why I like candidates like Abdul El-Sayed and others that seem to care more about the grassroots level. Just appealing to the story of the day at a national level is not what we need. We need people that are going to fight at the ground level and for the working class actually. So anyways, I showed that because he's doing, let me see, I'll show you. Because he's turned off all of his comments. Here he is. Well, my truck. Oh, that's actually a sick truck. That's actually cool. I can't shit on the vehicles though. Vehicles are cool. Yep, comments are still off. Damn. No comments? You turned them off. There you go. I'm fine with mass surveillance because I'm not doing anything wrong until someone changes the definition of what is wrong. The same clown, again, who was posting pro-ICE shit. And all the fun and the Palantir phones that ICE had. And they were taking pictures of people and like saying, you're in a database now. Tee-hee-hee. ICE agents literally just saying that. Oh, you're in our database. No, and then these fucking losers again, which I'm sorry, I had to give you the full context on this Luke Merrill guy because it goes back to the same people that are like up against flock cameras, which again is the right thing to be. I'm not saying don't be pro fucking flock cameras, but it's like have some principles. Like if you're gonna be against the bloat and government when it comes to surveilling and when it comes to the money that's pumped into it, you need to be against all of it. And you can't pick and choose because you watch Joe Rogan and he tells you that the immigrants are your fucking problems. And so you think ICE agents are going to fix your fucking problems. Oh, that's good spending. We like that. We like ICE agents that have no money that cost as much as that flock camera probably, that have no training at all and are getting firearms and getting to go do whatever the fuck they want. That's good. We like that. But we don't like flock cameras. We draw the line at flock cameras. You know why? It's because they're pussy and ICE agents are up armored and have weapons and they're fucking scared. That's why. And these based ass anti-ICE protesters are telling them what's what to their face. And these pussy ass anti-government libertarian right-winger types can go cut a fucking pole down because the pole isn't going to shoot them. That's why. They can go and be strong and brave and go and fucking cut the pole down, which again, go to please cut all of them down. I heard the Winona, Minnesota, they cut them all down. So do that. But I'm talking specifically at the types that will cheer for ICE and cheer for DHS, cheer for government spending and overreach when it comes to our surveillance state and militarized policing. But you pretend to, I'm anti-flock camera. Go fuck yourself. Pussy. Because the flock camera can just stand there and you can sneak up on it. You try sneaking up on ICE agent, you'll probably die. They'll probably just pull their gun out and just start blasting you. You will die. You will get killed. And so that's the difference. Shit's been wicked to see that. Okay, and then I need to branch into my Sophie Cunningham gripes, because this is this all of this shit about men and women's sports has been a conservative dog whistle for like 15 years now. It's been just a bullshit dog whistle for lazy bigots for a long time. And it's just tiring. Where are we at here? Where did I post it? I posted it somewhere here. My bad. I posted her stats. There you go. I don't know if it will load. Apparently, Twitter X isn't working. Wow. What a great platform, Elon. So I said Sophie Cunningham should shut up and dribble. I guess when you play 23 minutes and only score 3 points, you have time for conservative hate slop. 23 minutes. Someone argued in my chat, well, she had a plus minus, she had a plus one, plus minus. I'm like, 23 minutes, 3 points, one rebound and 2 assists. And which again, she hit a 3, but she only shot the ball one other time. And that was it, and missed. And so when you have time for this, and then when also your biggest fans are Riley Gaines, who also is a loser, when you got 5th place, it's the worst. It's the worst environment in this grifting garbage. Because you had let me pull it up here. You have Riley Gaines show up. Hold on. And I also, when I saw this video, I think I was watching, I literally could not figure out who she was. I was like, what blonde right wing is that? I could not think of her name, truly. I was broken. Like when I was watching this, I was like, is that fucking Erica I thought I couldn't figure out her name, truly, because they all do the same shit. They blonde fucking Fox News type trans people every day. That's it. So they went out there for a they showed up for a corporate product event, which the event was not for women at all. The event was a bunch of women in XXXY products, which, by the way, hold on. XY Athletics. It's the Levi jeans lady, whatever, and now she's doing this. It's just fucking dog whistling. Just grifting. That's what I told you guys. If you're ever down bad, just start making products for the right wing, and they will buy all of your shit because they believe all of this. Okay, so it's like she owns Levi's, and now she owns this slop athletic wear. So the event was not for women or to uplift women. The event was to promote their company, and then also Riley Gaines can continue her little grift because she's like kind of yesterday's news, guys. She has a Fox News thing now, and obviously she has social media influence, whatever. Oof. Oh my God. Yo, those gums are crazy. Who is that? But beyond that, I think she's kind of washed. So she needs to go to the next thing, which is Sophie Cunningham, and whatever. So Derek, you're getting called out. And you got Gina Milan, Derek, activist Derek in the chat. So it'll be your first time against this one. He's been in my comments. She really was upset with me during Metro Surge. Genuinely terrified when I see her show up in my comments. It's genuinely terrifying. So, but they did not like Derek with his megaphone in Riley Gaines' face. That's what they call a peaceful protest. Seems pretty peaceful to me. Where was the unpeaceful part? So Derek's going, then Derek, they use a bullhorn to amplify their mindless slogans because they hope if it's loud and obnoxious enough, you won't hear the rational sentiments of the other side. LOL. You said nothing. What do you mean? That's MAGA. That's their shit. So MAGA, because people respond to their hate, your response is silencing their speech. That's how MAGA does this 4D chess thing. And this was with anything, guys. So just be ready for this. So if you have obviously if a MAGA makes a take, anything, doesn't matter. It's usually the most racist thing possible, or sexist, or anti-trans, or pro something, right? You guys know how just name it. Okay. MAGA says something, and then you respond and are like, no, I'm not fucking down with that. What the fuck? And then they make the argument to, wow, I can't say that. Are you trying to say I don't have freedom of speech? And are you trying to say I can't have freedom of speech? Wow. Well, I can't have opinions? That's their strat. That's their current strat right now. Is to then roll it back into, well, you're bad because they make it an argument about the speech itself and not what's being said and not the context of the words. Same thing I had with somebody on Facebook, who again is a follower and supports, but they were like, what's the point of why did they boo Sophie? She has the right to say what she does. And I'm like, yeah, and people have the right to boo and not and dislike what she's saying. Like freedom of what you say and how you say it. People have the right to respond to that. Okay, and you people will be mad. And especially if she was booed in Portland too.
Cunningham took an elbow to the face, watched the officials review the replay, and somehow walked away with the foul called against her. That's the latest bizarre moment involving one of the WNBA's most outspoken players, and it comes just days after Cunningham dared to say biological men don't belong in women's sports.
The irony of this too. Do you know why? You guys know why? And it might have came across weird, or you're like, why'd you say it like that? When I said shut up and dribble, I told Sophie to shut up and dribble because here, I'll just play it in case you haven't seen. Ironically, the same person. They love their political slop when they get to do it. And honestly, I you know what's so funny too is I posted that on Facebook, and I got a lot of boomer conservative slop that follow me, and they were like, "Well, tell that to LeBron. Tell that to LeBron." And I'm like, "Motherfucker, I am remixing the original. I'm remixing the quote, the source material, ironically against LeBron."
Create a new banner. This is a Jumdoc alert. Ding, 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 ding. NBA superstar LeBron James is talking politics again.
I know you guys are excited to see her. I didn't know you guys would be excited to see me too, but thank you. As much as you guys will love to hear from me, I would much rather love to hear from our next president, Miss Hillary Clinton.
now, a historic moment. We can now project the winner of the presidential race. CNN projects Donald Trump wins the presidency.
And this time it's R-rated. Here's his barely intelligible, not to mention ungrammatical take on President Trump in a new ESPN podcast.
The number one job in America, the point of person, is someone who doesn't understand the people and really don't give a about the people.
But wait, there's more gripping insight. ESPN host Carrie Champion asked James and fellow NBA star Kevin Durant about what she described as Trump's racist comments.
I feel like our team as a country is not ran by a great coach.
It's not even a surprise when he says something. It's not even a surprise. It's like laughable. It's like
it's laughable.
It's laughable and it's scary.
But it's also scary because I shouldn't be numb to your racist comments.
Right.
I shouldn't be numb to your behavior.
Nothing LeBron and Kevin Durant said there was even like a hot take. This was this was Fox News back in the mid 2010s. So about Trump first term Trump. You see how they've literally just since this period, which was 10 years ago, they've completely have became the thing that they hate. They've literally, which again, Laura Ingraham telling LeBron to shut up and dribble, which by the way, his criticisms was because, or the criticisms against him for this was because he showed up at a Hillary campaign event, which even, I mean, he doesn't do political events again. I think that was the last time we saw LeBron James do politics like that. So he doesn't really do it. He just, I don't know, fucking wanted to do it then. But even this conversation was just about Trump and Kevin Durant saying, I don't think we're being led by a good coach. And then that's R-rated politics. So you can see how you got cry bully behavior from the right wing. Okay. They're cry bullies. We can do it. You fucking can't. And also it's because LeBron's black. Okay. That's why he's a black man. So that's why they can do this shit. And then she's going to say it here, but they can focus on LeBron and say he can't do politics at all. But Sophie Cunningham, that's our girl. Hell yeah. Look at, yeah. That's our girl out there doing politics and sports. We like that now. We love that.
I'm numb to this commentary. Like, must they run their mouths like that? Unfortunately.
Must they run their mouths like that? Who's they? She's never, this was a crazy segment to this day.
A lot of kids and some adults take these ignorant comments seriously. Look, there are
jocks on politics, bad. Jocks on politics, good. Okay? This is the Brainwash channel. Lots of people watch this. My dad used to fall asleep, probably still does. I don't know. They all switched to Newsmax out of cope because Fox News didn't go along with, or they didn't go along with the lie completely and were sued and they took an L. So now they all have to watch Newsmax now.
There might be a cautionary lesson in LeBron for kids. This is what happens when you attempt to leave high school a year early to join the NBA. And it's always unwise to seek political advice from someone who gets paid $100 million a year to bounce a ball. Oh, and LeBron and Kevin, you're great players, but no one voted for you. Millions elected Trump to be their coach. So keep the political commentary to yourself, or as someone once said, shut up and dribble.
Okay. I remember all that. Because again, I told you guys, like, if you're new to my channel and you're new to me, I come from this world, unfortunately. I come from the right-wing world. I voted for Trump in 2016. I have cleansed myself of that existence, obviously. And now I'm pretty, like, anti-establishment left. That's pretty much where I'm at now. But it's taken a long time to undo all of this. But in the undoing of it, I still remember all of this. I still remember all of this world and how the right wing works. So it's crazy when you have this rhetoric against LeBron James, okay? Which again, he left high school a year early because he was the best. He was the next Michael Jordan at the time. Thinking going back to that time as a kid and that whole time period, he was the greatest basketball. He still is. Fucking 40 some years old. He's going to play on the 76ers. Oh, he's 42 now. Jesus. LeBron was the biggest thing. It was Kobe Bryant and LeBron. both of them at the same time for a little bit, because I was around after Michael Jordan. Honestly, I was too young. I was a kid, but I just didn't. I don't know, Kobe Bryant and then LeBron for me, and then Kobe the whole time though. But Kobe Bryant the whole time. But you know, it's crazy seeing that, and then you can see what she says when you have Sophie Cunningham making political statements, and Sophie Cunningham sucks at basketball. Okay, compared to LeBron James, obviously. But like, you have two different people completely. But that's why someone like Riley Gaines, who again took 5th place in a swimming meet and has made an entire career off being a 5th place loser, that's what it takes in the right wing. You have to just cry bully and then sympathy grift. They tried to do, there you go, Riley. Every time Sophie was on the court, they tried to do to her what they did to me.
Bringing politics into sports. The league doesn't have a problem with politics in sports. They have a problem with conservative politics in sports. And I will tell you, Sean, every time Sophie was on the court, every time she was subbed in, every time she threw up the ball, she was booed by the entire stadium virtually.
Based Minneapolis once again.
Bar me. And
so you're saying Minneapolis is just based all around, just can't stop it, can they?
Jen Say, who is sitting next to me, owner of XXXY Athletics, they're trying to do to her what they've done to people like me, what they do to people like you. They call you reprehensible, totally inaccurate things like racist. And I think that's at best. And they use violence against.
No one used race. I don't know. I didn't use racist. I don't know what her stance on. It probably could be. Like, it's all connected, but I've pretty much focused on her no men and women sports bullshit. Absolute bullshit. Oh, which, by the way, too, check this out. I think this was pretty cool. Pretty cool. Oh, that too. We'll get to that. But no, that wasn't cool. Where is it? Did I not? Oh, did I not save it? I might not have saved it. Ah, there it is.
University Subaru, the wise choice.
What the heck? What is she doing? What is she doing playing in men's sports? What the heck? Kicking field goals? What the crap? What the?
And Kim England. Please give the entire court
what the heck?
Of appreciation for the service and dedication to Rockridge.
Wow.
What?
So good. Oh, you went homecoming queen and you kick a field goal in one game. That's pretty cool, actually.
That was great.
Pretty cool, but when your whole message is you can't mix the genders into sports and all this other shit for right-wing hate slop politics, just garbage. It's trash. It's all trash. Trans community, you exist. You're welcome here. We love you. This garbage is just garbage. Okay, it's garbage, and it's got to be so tiring, like countering it, but you don't have to, because it truly is it's garbage. It's dog whistling for people to distract them from how terrible the war in Iran's going, the fact that we continue to support Israel, the fact that Donald Trump hasn't addressed affordability, the fact that the Epstein files haven't been released, the fact that Trump is in the Epstein files, and also most of his cabinet target women. So these very people that target young women and prey upon them for their own goals, right? Their beauty pageants or islands or whatever, right? Will then use this as a subversion. It's a subversion technique, because this truly is nothing. There's no evidence of like men that, want to go and compete in the women's sports. So they whatever, to try to have a competitive advantage. That's not a thing. Not a thing. It's a non-issue. And especially when you're like, there's no men in little girl sports. There's no grown men playing in little girl sports. That doesn't happen. It's a non-thing. It's a non-thing that you get people mad. But if you haven't noticed, that's the most of the right-wing existence. Most of the right-wing existence is getting outraged and fucking mad based on what the TV tells you. Well, now the TV doesn't have to tell you. Now you got your phone and AI, and the right-wing AI slop from Elon. But also, I mean, when it comes to me, like, obviously I play on men's teams. I also play on I'm also playing on my first non-binary team coming up in the LGBTQ plus World Series. I'm going down and playing. I got invited to come play. It's cool to me. I'm an ally. So I'm going down and playing on a team that's mostly non-binary, but I've played on teams that are men's leagues, right? Or like identify as men. Like my Monday league is men's team. Um, and I think there's some women on the team too. But like I've always played co-ed. I've played co-ed sports. I've played with women, and or like even in my men's league, I've had women play on my men's team in the men's league, right? And like women are playing. Like it's like some women can play fucking football. They can because they're good at it. They're good. They're good. They're good athletes. So when you have women that are already like good enough to play with men, and they do it, and it's welcomed and it's fine, doesn't that kill the message? Doesn't that kill the whole thing, or is it just you're trying to focus on the myth that men are preying upon women's sports for a competitive advantage, which is not a thing. It's not a thing whatsoever. It's not a thing. It's because trans people exist. It's because trans kids exist, and they want to be able to compete and play sports. And it doesn't give any type of competitive advantage. Anyone that will say that is just full of shit. Full of shit. The amount of medications and the amount of time and and again, this is just from conversations I've had. It's not a fucking like the trans community has to do a lot. They go through a lot. It's not just like I want to be my true identity. Bang, here I am. It's like, and then plus if you want to also compete in sports, that's got to be tough too, because like it's gotta just the whole thing has to just be different. So there is no there's no advantage when you have trans kids playing in women's sports or vice versa, which again happens more than anything when you have women playing in men's sports, which I welcome. I love that. Again, I welcome that all day. Especially if there's a woman that or anyone that identifies as a woman that wants to play it in the men's thing, by all means, come through. Come play. I think it's cool. I think it's really cool, especially when they're hitting better than some of the dudes or some of the men out there, and they're out playing them. Okay, because that happens a lot. There's a lot of women athletes are way like men can, I guess, because we can throw ball far. That's it. But can they throw it accurately? And not really. Like, have you ever seen most men, especially these right wing red pill men? That's going to be my thing. We should really start carrying a ball around, and if they want to act all jockey, alpha pill, macho, hey, let's play catch. I want to see how you throw a ball. I want to see you throw a football. I want to see you throw a baseball. I want to see you dribble a basketball. I got to see something athletic or something with the ball, or you can do something. Otherwise, what are you even talking about? Go influence your dork, some nerd thing or something. I don't know, because I play sports. I do. I even posted about it earlier today, like an hour ago. Had a great game. Hit a couple of the homies in. Okay. I stream my games on Mondays. But again, if any women or anyone, any non-binary, or if anyone wants to come play on my team, you're more than welcome to. Come through. And that's the case too, especially when most Americans get out of high school and get out of whatever, like we only have recreational sports to play. There is no opportunities there to get paid unless you make amateur team or whatever, but then I don't know what you're getting paid. There is only really just community building and then playing sports or whatever with other people that might not be super athletes, or that might not be from this background of weekend tournaments and blah 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 that I did or whatever. You know what I mean? Like they just want to play and hang out, and that's the majority of the situation. So that's why I'm glad like leagues like the TCGSL. Again, if you guys live in Minneapolis, the Twin Cities Good Time Softball League, like it's open to everybody. It's like it's an inclusive league, and sports should be inclusive. Yes, there are levels of sports that you put the competition and you're trying to win, and like that can suck too when you put that above all else when coaches do that. But it's really about the community building and like, can your team overcome adversity? Can you work together? Blah blah blah. Because you're gonna have people on your team that don't think like you, or don't act like you, or whatever. Okay, and you got to win though. You got to beat the other team. So within that, you got to build community. And if you don't play sports on an actual serious level, you would never understand that. Which a lot of these conservative alpha pill loser slop garbage don't. It's just the idea of it. It's the idea. They don't actually do the thing. It's just they want to uphold this idea that they have in their head that men are preying upon women's sports to try to have some type of competitive advantage, and that's not the case whatsoever. And then at this point, because that's why, because that point has been so disproven or has been so stated to where now again it's not even worth really debating it. It's just, or to the point where now it's identified as a dog whistle. It's not a serious point to contend with. It's a dog whistle only. So the whole Sophie Cunningham thing was just reminding him of that. But it was so lazy. It's so lazy. It's the same shit we've heard for years and years. But also we had this. Or I had to deal with this, or I have to continue to deal with this apparently. Where'd it go? Before the event. Oh boy. I thought I posted about it, didn't I? There you go. Yeah, I saw it, so you guys do too.
Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me.
Yeah, and I had to post this part because he tagged me in this video saying, "Am I your type?" So this is why I support bringing asylums back. Okay. We know when that is brought up, like there's nothing else that's going to fix this. This is truly like this is needs to be institutionalized. Okay. This is institutionalization worthy at this point. Okay. It's beyond. But like again, we called him weird and that was being mean, right? So yeah, he comes and finds me in Maine, or flies because I go to Maine and goes there, and then now he's wearing a dress and wearing a wig and asking again because and again I support people who love who they love, but I would probably be a cis male, right? So I'm not, it's that's just what it is, what it is. So when you do this, it's not anything other than like I don't even know. Yeah, it is crazy. It's something out of a horror movie, but no. But my response was I actually like white dresses with blue spots. That's what I said back because I truly didn't know what to say. It's a whole other level. So in Zach's brain and in right wing brain, they like to do this 4D chest tee he. They don't know what we're really doing. So he's trying to get people so he's gonna dress up as a woman to try to prove the point of like, oh, you guys do like men and dressing up like women, and that's not the point at all. Then it's not the point at all, and it shows that they don't truly understand an identity because they don't have one. Their identity is to uphold Donald Trump, ICE agents, and honestly, whatever the right wing pipeline that comes down that day. So they don't truly understand like somebody that has a true identity and them becoming their true selves. Okay. And then that process of what that goes through. And again, I guess I don't have a physical example of that for myself. Like I haven't had a physical transformation, I guess, but I've had a mental one in the way I think about the world and the way I see people and the way I engage with others, I guess, right? Or for the past 10 years. So like I've had a mental transformation in which I don't think the same at all how I used to. And how would I like mentally identify differently than right? Or like socially, I socially identify differently now and whatever, blah blah blah. But this is a mockery. Okay, this is not this attempt at a this attempt at a 4D chess move is just a mockery. It's not even, there's no point being made here. Okay, MAGA will do this now. So what they're gonna likely do, and even someone offered to start an all male or an all trans team, and it's like men, whatever, whatever. So they're gonna have this situation taking place to try to prove, like, to try to make their narrative that men are playing in women's sports. So they're gonna have cis men dress up like women to prove their fucking their narrative to be true. That's what's likely going to happen next, or like what is happening. Which doesn't that kill their whole argument when they're like, men can't be women, and then like, again, cis men, like he's, because I don't believe Zach identifies as anything else. If he does, then I'll oblige that. But from what I know, he identifies as a white cis male man. That white male man. That male man, white male man. So it's a mockery. It's not, you're not proving anything here. Okay. But beyond that, I mean, yeah, I don't know, because that's the only place they can go. When MAGA has a narrative in their brain, which again is men and women's sports, which isn't a thing, they will go until they can't. Okay. Because it's a cult and they have to. When Donald Trump repeats it every time he speaks, right? When Trump is up there doing anti-trans messaging in his a daily slop speech, that's why they have to continue this. They have to continue this to the point of, again, dressing up like a woman. Have I, and I'm just, I'll call myself out. Like, so when I was deployed overseas, it's kind of like a funny joke. I don't even know if I have the picture anymore, but I've worn a dress. I want a dress. If I can find the picture of it, I will show you guys. I swear to God, I will. But I lost a bet. There's a bet though, and the bet was, the bet was over NCAA football 2013. God, if I can find the picture. Let me see if I can find it. We were deployed. Okay, we were also deployed, and I upheld my bet. But the bet was, and I don't know how they found this fucking sparkly dress, but the bet was, loser has to wear that fucking dress around. Has to wear the dress around base. So, and I lost and had to put it on, and had to walk around zone 6 in Kuwait wearing that thing. If I can find the picture, I'll show you though. We did fun shit like that all the time. Like, we shaved our heads bald, and you're bored. 9 months in the desert, you just are bored. But I don't think I would ever put a dress on to own my political enemies, though. I don't think that would, I don't know. Nothing wrong with wearing a dress, though. But I don't know. What kind of dress? Oh, it was a sparkly one. I'm trying to find the photo. It was a long time ago. It was like when I was deployed. So it was a minute ago. You've seen that one, you, me? Yeah. So that's the story, is we were playing college football. And we all took it seriously, obviously. Or any sports game we played, we took it seriously. So the bets, we didn't want to bet over money because we barely had any. So you just make silly bets like that, and I lost. I can find this picture. But no, I would never, like, and it also, what a like, I will call out MAGA and obviously establishment Democrats, but if you guys ever see me doing any of that behavior again, like, Israel got to me or something. That is beyond, like, here we go, we're getting there. I'm in 2020. I'm in 2020 pictures. It was so long ago. I'm going to be doing Spider-Man here in a bit. If you guys want to come hang out on my gaming channel, I'm going to unwind there. Gonna unwind. Let's go here. Yeah, the trans hate's just lazy. It's lazy bigotry now. And dog whistling. That's my knee injury. Are we getting there? I'm almost there. I think I'm getting there. Oof. These are the old days. I think you guys can't see this. photos are loading slow now. We're getting there. It was when I was deployed, so it was back in 2013, so it was years ago now. It was a long time ago. Co-founder of the Oath Keepers, Jessica Watkins, is trans. That's nice. Wish she wasn't a part of the Nazi movement. But yeah, it's like that'll be a thing too. Is like you will find as well there will be LGBTQ plus individuals or you know, then they will uphold the establishment, and that sucks. And then also they will weaponize those individuals too to try to stifle any actual criticism. They love when marginalized individuals will sell out, which is a thing. You definitely can do that. You just got to start spewing right-wing bigotry. You literally, you got to go all the way with it now, though, in order to get any attention. So you got to do full slurs, all of that. Go viral for Sieg Heiling in the public park and ruin your life, basically. But you'll go viral, and you can make it big. I think we're getting there. I promise. I've definitely posted it to Facebook. So long ago. So long ago. Yeah, the majority of them are Circusisu. I was just saying that I was responding to a chatter who had they will use like, especially when it comes to race issues in the country. When it comes to like when the police are brutalizing Black and brown Americans, they will then use Black and brown Americans that are pro-police and pro right wing to act like, well, look at this Black and brown person that is pro police and they're one of us. That's the real narrative. It's not the anti-establishment narrative. They'll do that all the time. And yes, it's the cis white men doing that. Like in Wizard of Oz, behind the curtain. Trying to show you this picture of me in a dress. Keep things fair and balanced, but the pictures are loading slow as hell. All right, I'm in Alaska now, so we're getting there. That was me in 2015 in Alaska. Missed my truck I had up there. Okay. No, we're not to my deployment yet. We're still in Alaska. I'm deployed in 2013. Type of shit we were on. We were doing lad nav that day. It was so hot. Hot as fuck. Okay, so the pictures were definitely before this. Yeah, we were doing land nav. He had a dagger. One of our NCOs had a dagger. There I am. Made it really easy to do land nav that day. It's one of those days they just had us go do some shit. So we went out into the bush and just did some land nav. Do I remember how to do any of that now? No. I couldn't tell you. I would definitely need a course. Definitely would need a reminder course on that, which actually is beneficial if you know how to read a map and use a compass. And then know your pace and how far you need to go to get somewhere, and it's really good skills to have, especially if the internet ever does go out someday and all we have are maps. Okay, I'm almost there, guys, I promise. I'm at the dine-in now. That's me right there. Kevin Voight was from Minnesota. So we took the picture together. Yep. I was so young. Maps in code language and cursive. I'm gonna be so mad if the picture ain't. It should be here though. I don't think I took it down. GTA 5 pictures. 2014, dude. GTA 5. This game's so old. Holy shit. There's me playing Destiny in my barracks room. Are we to my deployment yet? Holy shit. A lot of these pictures are my Instagram too, guys. So really quick to update you guys, we're gonna do a gaming stream here after this, and then tomorrow will be the 2 p.m. news stream. So I'll have a daytime news stream again. This won't be a regular thing. I don't know, maybe it could be if I'm ever bored. Oh yeah, this is the Northern Lights you saw in Alaska. Over that's our barracks right there. So when they're like, you got to go see the lights, I'm like, I don't know if I'll see lights like I saw in Alaska. That's us outside. That's hackers. She's looking outside. We're looking at the lights. I had like an iPhone 6 or something. I don't even know. Couldn't take low light photos, but we had to do we had to go set up targets for the Rangers up in the mountains. We had to go do a tasking for them. That was my favorite. Still, to like you get sent on a lot of details in the military, but that one was the coolest. That was a cool detail. Oh, okay. Oh, more random pictures from. Oh, why is it not show my pictures in order? This is after deployment. My weapon. I gotta go back up there again. That's my brother. They came to visit. I had him hiking. I had him hiking the rock climbing and shit. Look at that. In Alaska, the land just goes and goes and goes. That's like a river. That's a river. That's another river. And it's just like land, like to the horizon, like that. Just hills and land, and you can. Then there's usually like you can climb all of it, or there's like hiking. Hey, Power 7 Poison, of course. I'm still not to my deployment yet. Damn. It's got to be coming up here soon, I think. Alaska was a really cool place to go, guys. Or I mean, I didn't get to choose, but that's Mount. Well, it's yeah. What's the Denali? That's the native name. McKinley's the white name for it, so we don't use that. So it's Denali, which is a way cooler name too. Mount McKinley sounds lame. But it looks like a painting. It literally looks like a painting from that far away. It looks like the Columbia logo or whatever for the movies. So really cool. Really cool stuff. Okay, almost there. All right. Almost. Deployment. I used to run in 5Ks. There's no way I would run in a 5K now. Yeah, there's no way. We wore afros. Don't think I could. Did a bunch of them. I know, but like I'm old now and my back. The way my back is set up, and I get tired, and I like smoking weed. I can't run that far. I'll get tired. I run around the bases. Golly, dude, why did I take so many pictures? I should have taken more. I don't think I took enough. I think that was the real problem. We got to play baseball up in Alaska. Our unit let us, so I got to pitch. It's up in Alaska. That's at where the Gold Panners play. I can't pitch no more. My arm, my shoulder. Yeah, I used to be a pitcher. You know, can't. I don't base. Plus, baseball is just like, man, like softball is fine. The bases are so far apart, and that can, like, they're too old. Baseball's for young, for the young. You never have too many, huh? I agree, especially with some of my friends I'm seeing here. That's when we got back. Okay, I think I'm getting there. These pictures are from when we got back right away. Yeah, this is the first picture we took. Here's my unit. That's our picture we took before we left. So we're in my deployment now. That's the hat truck I talk about. Big ass truck. Transport M1 Abrams and other big vehicles on. Yeah, this is the type of shit I was doing in Kuwait. Yeah, Kuwait's not supposed to be a combat deployment. I was at a swimming pool. Here we are in the bus, because they have buses that go around. Hot as hell. I'm gonna be mad if it's got to be coming up here soon. Had you guys wait for this, and then it's gone. That would be so funny. Like, well, it used to be there. We had this was New Year's Eve in 2013. They put a light. We were deployed, obviously, so they put a light on a wrench and then hung it from the ceiling and then lowered it, and that was our ball drop. Beacon light, wrench, deployment. It worked. You're Santa on a striker in our motor pool. riding around on a striker, wasting taxpayer money. What's Santa? We had a monsoon. We had a flood on base because it rains like crazy there. So that's damage. I took picture damage. That's the PX back there. Soldiers right there. It was bad. Motherfuckers almost like, it was really bad. We had water up in our shit. So that's like, there's supposed to be a walkway there, but there's water just flooding. And it's all just gross because it's all gone through, like, it's all in our shit. This is my space. That's all. That's a layer of water on the ground. There's my PS3, all my cords, the tough box. I still have this tough box. This is our space. So 2 people there, and then I'm on my bed, and then you get like a chair, and you truly have just like a little space. And then you'd put up blankets to separate the room. But it was just wall lockers. Like you have bunk beds, and then the wall lockers, and then that's what like was like our area. Flooded bad. Ew, I didn't even want to go out. I didn't want to go put my foot in it. So it looked like the going into the day or going into the night. That's water. We put a pallet down to step on to get into our PCBs. That's what we had to deal with. We didn't have to deal with Iranian drones like they do now. We had to deal with the monsoon. And yes, I did play softball in Kuwait. There I am. We had a softball field. Definitely was out there playing. We had a team. We were pretty good too. So here we are at the range.
I didn't get that.
Not you, Siri. Oops. Siri thought I was talking to her. Okay, it's got to be coming up here soon. I think this happened like pretty quick because we were bored. Oh, this is me at Camp Patriot, which is one of the bases that was hit. You can go fishing. We had to wear our cat cards. We had to wear our cat cards on our arm. These look like pictures from what year of Jesus? These pictures look old as fuck. This is like 2013. These pictures look like from 1997. What is going on? It's crazy. 2013 was so long ago. So long ago. Okay, I think I'm getting into it. Yeah, this is the type of shit. Yeah, we were just fucking. Are we there? Yeah, there I am. Fair and balanced. I think I have 2 pictures in it. I should have 2 pictures in the dress. Apparently I only put the one on. All right. There I am. It's only fair. I show MAGA in the dress. I gotta show me in the dress. July 24th. All right, I walked around the fucking base in that. I had to walk around zone 6 that way. Lost a bet. I don't know what it is. It's a dress. Okay. I don't know what it was. I had to wear it. And I walk around. So, only fair. But I too have been in a dress, but I was deployed and I lost a bet playing NCAA football 2013. I swear I had another one of me sitting down with it. And you can see it better. Apparently I don't. I thought I literally had a picture of me sitting because they took a picture of me in it. Apparently not. Here's us when we were shaving our fucking heads, drinking O'Doul's because we couldn't drink. There's no alcohol. We were that bored, truly. The whole platoon going bald. Just fucking. We literally showed up to the formation and all of us were bald. It's because our platoon sergeant was bald, so we all balded ourselves. Yep. Yo. Help. Oh boy, looking like a naked mole rat. Holy shit. Help. Eyebrows on maximum. Eyebrow maxing. Holy shit. Look like Scott Ian of Anthrax. Shit. Yep. Mm-hmm. Bald. And yeah, it did feel weird too. I haven't balded my head since that day. And yes, it truly feels like it's weird. Like your head's all mushy and shit. That's what I remember. It was like my head feeling mushy. Yeah, we did that. I wore a dress and I went bald. Just like But the good news is my hair grew back though. See, my hair is still here. I still have it. Hair's still good. It's intact. I had a bike for like 10 minutes. That thing, then it broke, but I did have a bike. And I took good care of it. Someone left it, obviously. And whenever you leave it, it's just you can use it. So it's just how it works. Military socialism. Okay. There is socialism within the military, by the way. And it's like, yeah, if you usually can leave a refrigerator back, or you'll exchange goods and pool resources and all types of stuff. This was my favorite one. Look at the mutual aid I got, guys, in the military. You guys want to see my mutual aid in the socialist army? Where is it? I had a picture of it. Yeah, there you go. Look at the mutual aid I got, because the military don't pay nothing. So they sent me Colgate. I got some Gold Bond. It's like I got Cliff Bars, Gatorades, all types of mutual aid. Don't show this to conservatives. You can't have that. You can't do mutual aid. Okay, no. You start pooling resources together, that's communism. Okay, so you better not show them that we did this in the army. Okay, they wouldn't like that. Can't do that, especially when you're getting taxpayer money, which is nothing, by the way. You get nothing in the middle. Like the regular soldier gets paid nothing. Like it's most of that money that we pay goes towards bombs and precision guided rockets that kill civilians. Yeah, that's where that money goes. It doesn't go towards the soldier or whatever. Like we use gear from 2 decades ago. like this was 2013. Why I got a M16? Okay, we were balls deep into M4s at that point. I'm out there the M16. All I was missing was my fucking knee pads, I guess. Got us out there looking. We're in AC. What the fuck? We're in ACUs. So, yep. Now that I don't know what uniform they're on, they're like 2 uniforms newer. I did like qualifying with the M16 though, guys. The thing is pretty dang accurate. Way more accurate. I think it was more accurate than the M4, at least without any attachments. Like iron sights, I'm going with an M16. Like if it's like a medium to long distance target, I'm going iron sights M16 if I had to choose. Obviously, closer range, probably want the more compact M4. That was your weapon of choice in Left 4 Dead. Thing's old, dude. But honestly, it's accurate though. I think that's why they stuck with it for so long, because it is an accurate rifle. All right, guys. I think that's it. I wanted to show you. It took a while, but I got to the dress. Here it is, one more time. It is fair and balanced on this channel. Call out MAGA for it. I gotta show you I did it too, but a little different context. Little different, obviously. Deployment. I'm serving in the military. I was playing a sports game. I lost a bet. Different than voluntarily, dressing up in a dress to own me, I guess. Anyways, this is what Derek did, and it was awesome. It's sad. It's giving pathetic. And he even put the rainbow colors around the trans women are men sign. I think Zach, he went to he went to every Pride event. He was out there. I think maybe there might be an opportunity. He's got to go to jail. He's got to face accountability for his assaults and shit. But hey, I think he'd find maybe what he's looking for ain't in conservative hate slop. Seems that he really enjoys being around the LGBTQ plus community. They've always, and despite his hatred, the LGBTQ plus community's always been nice to him. Like, again, he went to every Pride event, and they all knew he was there, but again, just did his little thing, and no one really cared because Minneapolis is cool. So whatever. I mean, it is what it is. But he's and then Tom Evanstead showed up, and then look at this too. That's bad. Which Tom Evanstead is an actual. He has a charge. It's a. What did he do? I did a post about this a long time ago. Hold on, guys. What did he do? Oh, here you go. Oh, here's my post. Dang, my post is quoted. Good. Now I can quote my own wording. He was convicted of raping an 18-year-old woman and later pleaded guilty to stalking multiple people connected to that case. Spent part of the event filming protesters that day. This was a protest at the building, but that's what Tom Evanstead did. And then he threatened me with legal action, but there's no legal action to take because he did that. So when you have then Zach Axe fist bumping him, I mean, it's all like they love all that evil shit. Yep. This makes perfect sense. I saw that on his stream too. I was like, oh, he just fist bumped Tom Evanstead while pretending to be against him. They're all the same person. Just we have to deal with it now because our president is like this. So now regular people that would usually be held accountable or not welcomed in public or in society, which Tom Evanstead is not, by the way. Every time he's tried to show up to a protest, the protest is like, no. Because he's obviously, I read you what he did. But seeing Zach fist bump him, I mean, that makes sense. Shout out to Derek for putting the event on. What else happened quick? Well, before I let you guys go, what else did I miss? I said hate lost again. Tomorrow we're going to have Michigan primary coverage. So make sure you guys get some sleep if you're going to go to bed. This is what we're going to be doing, though, for a little bit. We're playing Spider-Man. I did see the movie. And I saw The Odyssey. Damn. I'll talk about The Odyssey tomorrow. I'm seeing it again this week for a second time. And then I'm considering traveling to Illinois to go see it in the real IMAX. That's how good it is. We'll just put it that way. I love my woke country, Minneapolis. Hell yeah. We love our country, Minneapolis, guys. All right. Appreciate you again. 2 p.m. Central. Shout out to Derek putting on the event. I don't know if you're still tuned in, if you went to sleep. He was in chat a little earlier. But I appreciate you guys. It's clear Mercado's in the closet. He broke up with his girlfriend to cover Ukraine. Oh, it's Scottish Pope. Yeah. It's not even worth. But come on over to my gaming channel, guys. Mercado Gaming. I'm really excited about tomorrow's primary. I might wear a nice shirt or something. I'll wear a nice shirt on stream. But I'm gonna be on my gaming channel, guys. If you guys can't sleep because you're excited for the primary, or you obviously just the state of things, come on over and check out my gaming channel. I'm gonna schedule the stream right now and then redirect you guys to it, so that way you guys can join. But we're gonna play Spider-Man for just like a couple hours, literally. I will play this probably until 3 in the morning because I can't sleep either. Bring in my boyfriend. I don't know. Are you coming? Only if you come through, Mark. So part 3, guys. Spider-Man. Story playthrough. I'll talk about the movie. I did see Brand New Day. I have thoughts. I do have thoughts on the new Spider-Man movie, and I do have thoughts on other things other than politics and shit. Lots of them too. So if you guys would like that, come on over. Mercado Gaming. It's like instead of Mercado Media, it's Mercado Gaming. Very simple. Very easy. But I'm going to schedule that stream now, guys, and then I will see you guys over here. Appreciate you. See you guys again back here, though, if you're done, and that was good enough, back here at 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern. Again, 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern, back here. Unless, like, some big news comes out, or I get antsy and I just start the stream earlier. But, like, expect it then. Join the Discord. There's a constant discussion happening in the discussion channel on my Discord server, so you guys are always plugged in. There's my moderators are active there, and everyone's active. We're active as fuck, right? So if you want to tap in, and then I'll have full coverage tomorrow of the Michigan primary, of everything going on, going through the numbers, and probably reacting to some streams. Either actually, Status Quo's live out there, so I get to I'll highlight what they're doing. So probably watch a little bit of that. Maybe see what Hassan's doing with Abdul Al Sayed, if something's going on with that tomorrow still. But I think just tomorrow's the big day, so we got it. The Odyssey is just as credible as the Bible. Relax. But I was forced to watch The Passion. Okay, I was forced to watch The Passion of the Christ. I went to the Odyssey by choice. And I read the book by choice because I took the class as an elective. I did not choose to be fucking baptized. I did not choose to go to Sunday school. I did not choose to watch The Passion, but we had to, okay? But I love the Odyssey. It was great. Odyssey did big W. Well, maybe I'll talk about it a little bit on my gaming channel. But I really am going to talk about the new Spider-Man movie while we're playing Spider-Man. So come on over. Is it better than Oh Brother, We're Out There? I'll talk about it on my gaming channel a little bit, but then I'll talk about it more tomorrow too on the main channel here. More people will be awake. It's that good. I'm going to see it again for a second time, and I want to go see it a third time. So, and it's a 3-hour movie. Shatash. I don't know what else do I need to say. I want to go. It's that good. It is. It truly is. But I'll talk about it a little bit more. All right, guys. Scheduling my Spider-Man stream. Sorry. I gotta make the thumbnail, as I forgot. Spider-Man. Does whatever a spider can. Okay. Right there. Okay. Yep, that's fine. Nice. All right, guys. So a couple hours of Spider-Man, and then I'll go to bed and wake up for the primary day in Michigan. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Again, just a final take. Abdul, I'll say it. There's Haley Stevens L, fucking L, fat L. So I hope that's how it goes, and we'll see. All right, got it scheduled. Cool. Let me redirect you guys over there. Yeah, we fucking hope so. I'm sure you guys are wondering, well, who does he want to win? He didn't say who he supports. Mercado. All right, y'all. All right, see you guys over there on my gaming channel. See you there.